Hey, church. I hope you're doing well. Have you ever had that experience where it felt like you were sinking? I know I've asked this question before. It's something we've talked about in the past. If you want to look at the last time that I spoke about it, you're welcome to, kind of scroll through the older videos and see where we talked about that previously. For some reason, I don't know if you have this experience, but I have this experience. Things happen kind of repetitively in my life. It's like I need conked in the head more than once to get a lesson. I spoke about being stuck and getting stuck in a Ranger, and then, I got stuck again pretty quickly after. I spoke about sinking in a kayak and, that effect. And here I am asking the question again. It's like things just happen time and again. Maybe one day my thick skull will be conked hard enough that I don't have to repeat things so much. Until then, I'll keep seeking the Lord and we'll try to learn lessons together, and some of the titles will probably be similar because this is how the Lord works in my life. Let me back up a little bit. I'll tell you the story. Last week, we took a week off. We took some time away, some time to, just be the three of us, to do some adventures, to spend some family time together. And it was awesome. And part of what we like to do as a family is to go and do things. And so we had this list of things we wanted to do. We wanted to go biking. We wanted to go hiking. We wanted to play disc golf. We wanted to have a picnic. We wanted to do all of these things in this time that we had off. And so we started down the list and we had a great time. We did all of these amazing adventures, but the one that I really wanted to do, the thing that I was most excited about more than the other ones, was our kayak trip. We wanted to go down a river and spend this time together kayaking and having this adventure. It's something that we haven't done. Usually we kayak in a lake and we pull back out and it's awesome, but this time I wanted to go down a river and we were excited about it. But the weather, it kept kind of being bad and it would rain different times, and the kayak trip kept getting pushed off to the next day and the next day. Finally, the day comes. I'm excited. We wake up in the morning and I start loading all the stuff. It doesn't go completely smoothly, some difficulty there, but we get the kayaks loaded and Krista gets a cooler packed with snacks and drinks, and we get the life vests and the oars and all this stuff, and then we drive up. We have to take two cars. We put one where we hope to get out, and then we drive up to the other spot where we hope to launch, and we're going to do the Conemaugh River. A 7.5 mile trip from the Conemaugh Dam down to Salzburg. It's going to be great. We get up to the dam. We pull out the kayaks. We go down the hill, down to the boat launch. We get in the water. Finally, the thing that I have been waiting for the most is happening. I'm on the river in the kayak with the cooler full of drinks and pop and water and chips and all of these things, and my wife and son are with me, and we're going to have this great time. And we're paddling downstream. Things are going well for a very little bit. And then I look at my feet and I see the water coming into the boat. Previously, Krista had asked, "Are you sure that kayak's fixed?" Yeah, I know it is. We took it out on the lake. It went out on the lake a couple days in a row. It's good. It has not leaked. We should have no problems. Are you sure it's fixed? Yep. I don't even need to check it. We're just going to go. We'll be good. We're going. And I see the water rising in the boat, and I think, should have maybe checked that. And we go a little bit more, and I see more water coming into the boat, and I think, she was right. I should have looked before we took this trip. And we go a little bit more, and Silas notices my boat is getting lower, and he says, "You're sinking." Yeah, I got a leak. I'm sinking again. The patch that I put on has failed. it's time to pull over to shore. And so we pull over to the side of the river, and I pick the kayak up, and we dump out all of the water, and we look at each other and we think, okay, now we have a choice. Now we have a decision to make. Do we continue in our adventure? Do we keep going downstream? Do we follow through with this plan that we have? Or do we go back? Do we paddle back to where we started? Do we pull the boats back out of the water? Do I take that kayak back up to the car and get it reloaded? We have a choice. You know, a thing that I find amazing about God is that he gives us choice in our life. We are beings created with free will. We have the opportunities to think and to process emotion and to choose how we will do things, how we will respond to things. We are people with choice. One of the verses that speaks to me a lot that is probably fairly popular concerning choice comes in the book of Joshua. You see, the Israelites, they had been out in the wilderness and they'd been wandering for these 40 years and they'd been following God through the leadership of Moses. And the time comes when Moses is called to go up to the Lord. And so Moses has departed them and Joshua has been appointed leader. Joshua does a great job in his leadership. They cross the Jordan River. They have that battle against Jericho where the walls come tumbling down, all of these things. And at the end of the book of Joshua, after they've been given this land, Joshua presents them with a choice. This comes in chapter 24 of Joshua. We'll look at verse 14 and 15. Joshua says, "Now fear the Lord and serve him with all faithfulness. Throw away the gods your forefathers worshipped beyond the river and in Egypt, and serve the Lord. But if serving the Lord seems undesirable to you, then choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve, whether the gods your forefathers served beyond the river or the gods of the Amorites in whose land you are living." Joshua gives advice. He says, serve the Lord. You know, follow after God. You've seen the things that God has done with your fathers in the wilderness. You've seen the way that he's worked in your lives to give us this land. Serve the Lord. You also remember those gods that your ancestors served in Egypt, those ones that we were freed from. Don't serve them. Serve the Lord. You'll come into contact with gods of the Amorites, these idols that they follow, the gods that the Lord is upset about. The way the people have their hearts that are wicked and turned away from the true God. You'll have the opportunity to look at them as well. But choose. If serving the Lord seems undesirable to you, don't do it. God's not forcing your hand or your will in this situation. Even though God has done everything for you, he gives you choice. Choose the Lord. Choose God. Choose the one who has delivered you and saved you and rescued you and loved you and shown you how awesome and mighty and powerful he is. But still, choose. Joshua continues, "But as for me and my household, we'll serve the Lord." The choice is there. You can choose God or you can choose other things. You can choose the Lord, or you can choose everything else. But Joshua is clear on his choice. As for me, my household, we'll serve the Lord. God has done more than enough for us. We choose to serve the Lord. You know, sometimes I've read this passage and I think of it as a conversion kind of thing, as a one-time decision. You know, you don't know Jesus for a while and you're living your own life, and then you realize what God has done for you through the gift of his Son, the salvation that's offered you, and then you accept and you choose the Lord. And then you just go about daily life. But I think that this decision here is one that we have to face more often than just a once and done kind of deal. Which will you serve this day, in this moment, in this circumstance? Joshua had been serving the Lord a long time. This is the end of the book. He served the Lord across the Jordan. He served the Lord through the various battles. And he's saying, I'll continue. I choose this day for me and my household to serve the Lord. I choose God. In that moment of conversation, when we were on the stream, we were faced with a choice. Fight upstream, go downstream. Abandon the plans, continue on. Try to go back to where we were before, or see what lies ahead. We decided to go forward, to press on, to see what adventure lies ahead of us. And so what we did is we emptied out the kayak, we tied it to the back of our other boat, and the three of us got on a 2-person kayak. And we had a great time. The boat sunk lower than it needed to. We got wetter than we maybe had hoped. We were crunched in there a little tighter than we had planned on. The thing was a little more challenging than we thought, but we had a great time. Our day was filled with laughter and fun and adventure, and we had an awesome time. Of all of the things that we did that week, kayaking was probably my favorite, in spite of the fact that we were sinking and having problems. We chose to follow the stream that was before us, to go with the current that was present, to continue in the path that was at our feet. Well, at our boat, but you know what I mean. We flowed downstream and we had a great time. You know, life oftentimes comes up with challenges. There are times when we feel like we're sinking. There are times when we feel like we just want to turn around to the way that we were before. We want to go back to Egypt and those gods that we served, our selfishness and our wickedness. We want to go against the way that God has directed us. When hardships and difficulties come and there's holes in our kayaks, we want to give up. But we do have choice. We are given the opportunity to choose, to decide. Choose this day whom you'll serve. Choose this hour who you'll follow. Choose this moment how you'll live your life. I hope that you choose the Lord. I hope that you choose the path that God has for you, no matter what difficulties might come. I hope that you choose Jesus. After all, he has done so much for us. You still have a choice. My prayer for me and my household, we choose the Lord. This day, this moment, this hour. And tomorrow I hope that we choose the same, and the next, and the next, and the next. Friend, I hope that you do as well. I hope that you hear the offering that is before you, that you see the decision that is to be made, and that you choose the path that God has for you and for your life. No matter what hardship might come, no matter what difficulty that might be faced, no matter how many times the kayak fills up with water and you have to go to the side and wonder, God, how are we going to get through this? Choose the Lord. After all, God chose you. He knows you. He loves you. And he will always be with you. Amen.